So this one has 9 minutes left. That one there, and then this one's got 12 minutes left, $50, and then 110 on that one. This one, it's got like a wooden box that looks like a toolbox or something. There's a tire, there's like a motorcycle seat, and then some totes, some trash. This one just looks like all clothing, like there's like 10 garbage bags there and a couple totes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody's bid, and
my name is Chris Gren. I live in a small town in rural southern Missouri. There aren't really many jobs around here to choose from, and the jobs that I have had were bad. They're bad on my mental health, just I didn't like. I've had to resort to more creative ways to pay the rent. Reselling items from flea markets, garage sales, thrift stores, things like that. And also buying items, storage units from online auctions. You don't always find something great, but sometimes you do. Like the stereo I'm recording my voice with right now, or the VHS-C camcorder that's capturing this footage.
Well, we first contact our customers when they're delinquent on the 8th day and try to get a hold of them. And then the 10th day, they're locked out. They get a late fee. Most people pay up sometime after that.
oh, those scissors are nice. Look at those. Look at these scissors.
Those are like
Old school.
fancy grandma scissors.
If it gets to a full month, you try to contact them again, email them, and call them.
Okay. Whoa. Look at that.
The big thing is, as far as getting to auction, is once you start getting into that second month, after about 10 days, we try real hard to get a hold of them and let them know that on the 15th, which is 45 days delinquent, we're going to cut the lock off, and it's going to get an extra charge, and check and make sure there's stuff in it. And then we're going to send them a letter, and that's a charge. It's a certified letter. If people contact us and call us back, then we can try to work with them. But if we don't hear from them at all, it just keeps going. But once you get to 45 days, you basically get sent a letter, and then the auction's the next month. So you still have, it's like 80 days before it gets auctioned.
Oftentimes the units are filled with tools or just random odds and ends that people have collected over the years. If it's not useful to me, I'll thrift it, and if I can't thrift it, I'll trash it. I sell the better items I find on eBay, generally looking for collectibles or electronics. This auction cost me $320, which is the second most I've ever spent on a storage auction. And so far, it's not looking very good. It's kind of a weird thing to do for a job. I find myself wondering about the previous owners of the unit. And when I find memorabilia, I wonder how it could have gotten left behind or what happened.
I would say it's extremely unusual for people to actually reach out to me. Sometimes when it's getting closer to auction, they've had contact with me and they'll say something. They might say something like, my grandma's ashes are in there, or I have my kid stuff or whatever. So of course I try to get a hold of them or work with them. And if a unit like that went to auction, I would tell the person that bought it, hey, they just wanted their baby book pictures or whatever, and they'd probably say sure. It hardly ever happens, is what I'm saying. Most people that I deal with, the reason why it's in auction is because they've got other problems or whatever. They just don't really want to mess with it anymore.
The very first auction unit that I bought was in November of last year, 2021. I bought it for $37, and from the pictures it looked like it had various different things. There were trash bags that looked like they were filled with clothing. There was a table. It looked like there were some electronic devices and things like that. So I won it. I would say 80 to 90% of it was taken to a thrift store. I would have loved to look through all that stuff, but there was only one day, so we just took it to the thrift store and donated it. So that remaining 10% we brought back home. Some of it was stuff that I knew I could sell. I knew I could list it on eBay and sell it. And then some of it was memorabilia that I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with. I guess I just didn't expect to find like personal things that I would hate to lose. Pictures, family photos, certificates, things like that. I didn't know what to do with it. I couldn't throw it away. To me, like, this is somebody's family history, so I couldn't just toss it. The rest of the stuff I ended up listing on eBay, and within that week it all sold. And the memorabilia I kind of just pushed aside in my own personal storage unit and just figured that I would do something with it at some other time. About a week later, I was contacted by the manager of the storage place. He told me that the previous owner of the storage unit, Hosea, had contacted him and was wondering if he could get my number to possibly see if I had some cherished items that he didn't want to lose, some memorabilia. I was like, whoa, that's nuts. I kind of, in the back of my head, I was like, this might happen. You might have people reach out to you and say, hey, can I have my stuff back? Can I have all my stuff back, even? I told the manager that I would eventually, that I would try to get a hold of him and text him. A lot of time went by, several months, of me just continuing to buy units. I just really didn't know how to process, like, what was going to happen. I wasn't strong enough to make the call or make the text and say, hey, this is kind of weird. I'm the one who bought your unit, but I do have your stuff, and if you'd like it back, I'd love to send it to you. I really just didn't know how to, like, put that into words, and I sort of felt guilty almost of buying everything else and sort of taking it from him. So a lot of time went by. This year I started a course at my school called Making the Documentary. We had to come up with an idea, and I thought that it would be interesting to film me doing this, me buying storage units, because it's kind of what I'm doing right now. It's all around me. It's how I'm paying the rent and how I'm buying food to eat and things like that, and reselling. So I decided I would do this. And then I also thought, well, this would be a good opportunity for me to face those fears that I have about reaching out. Not knowing, what the reactions might be. Are they going to be positive reactions, negative reactions? But realizing that all of that is just as valid as anything else. Any experience that I might have from this is part of the experience and worthy of putting on the screen. And there's so many people that do this, and you never see the family photos. You never hear about that stuff. And all the auctions that I've bought, I would say that most of them have had pictures in them. And I think that a lot of people just throw that stuff away. But this is like family history right here. I mean, this is like, if it's somebody who passed away, I'm sure there's somebody else in the family who might like to have this stuff. Anyways, it took me a while, but once I started this project and really thought about it, I decided that I would reach out to Hosea, and I sent him a text. And he got back to me really quickly. He was like very eager. He's like, wow, I honestly never thought I would see this stuff again. And he just seemed very grateful and surprised that I reached out. The number one priority for him was his Nana's Bible that she gave to him before she passed away. And as soon as he said that, my heart just sank, because I knew that I did not have this Bible. I knew that, I wouldn't have thrown it away. I definitely would have thrifted it, but I knew that I didn't have it. And I was a little bit disappointed in myself for not thinking about that. I was just I was at a loss. I was trying to do something kind of, I guess, good. As good as you can do something when you're buying people's things. About a week later, Vanessa and I bought another storage unit in Springdale, Arkansas. And we were over there, and we thought, well, maybe we should just go check the thrift store just to see, just to see if maybe it's there. So it had been, I think, 4 months since I bought Hosea's auction. It was the first one I bought. And so we went into the thrift store, and we're looking around, trying to find where they keep the Bibles. And I looked down, and on the shelf is a gray Bible. I reached down to get it, and it says his grandma's name on it. Just the fact that he never thought he was going to see this stuff again, and it's something that really meant, it had value to him. When I initially reached out to Hosea, I also told him about this documentary I'm working on. I told him about this project, and asked him if he'd be willing to have me interview him. I was very nervous about it. I had never heard his voice. He had never heard my voice. We never talked. It was kind of an awkward situation. I bought his things. I've been selling his things. He might have some sort of attachment to these objects. So yeah, I was very nervous, but finally it was time. It was time to make the call.
Hello?
Hello, is this Hosea?
Hey, yes, it is. Could I actually give you a call back in like 15 minutes?